Do I look like a boy to you? I mean, if you never heard me talk before and you only saw like this picture right now, would you mistake me for a boy? I'm just curious. Because I've been called Sir a lot recently since I got my hair cut shorter. And like, I knew I was going to get called Sir a bit. It was kind of like obvious it was going to happen. But it's happened a lot more than I was expecting it to. For example, me and my sister went to go sushi not that long ago, and the way the tables are set out there is kind of like in a square, so the waiter approaches you from behind you. And we were there, and the waiter came over to ask if we wanted any drinks, and he was like, "Hello, ma'am, hello, sir." And I turned around and he saw my face, but he still didn't really correct himself. And another time, I uploaded a new photo on Twitter, this was a few days ago, and one of my friends replied me saying, "I don't mean to sound insulting, but I thought you were a really fit boy for a moment." And fair enough, I kind of took it as a compliment because of the word fit, but at the same time, he still thought I was a boy. And to be honest, I don't really care if someone thinks I'm a boy. I don't really see what the big deal about it is. But at the same time, I'm kind of curious. Then I'll be more prepared for it if it happens. And I'll be like, fair enough, most people think I kind of look like a boy. I know that I'm a girl. All my friends know that I'm a girl. So I don't really care. If people think I'm a boy, they can think I'm a boy. I mean, it's not like I could blame them if they think I'm a boy. I dress quite boyishly and I have my hair cut short. If I wore dresses all the time and they still thought I was a boy, then fair enough. But I mostly go around in like some jeans and baggy t-shirts and stuff because it's more comfortable. Though to be honest, I think the divide between genders is a bit too wide. And I'm not talking about political or like any human rights and stuff here. I'm not going to go feminist on you. But I'm talking about everyday life. For example, if a guy likes girly things, they'll be seen kind of weird. But if a girl said, "Oh, I like football," and I go on around wearing guys' jeans or whatever, no one would really think much of it. Sure, they may think she's not very girly, but they wouldn't think that she's weird in any way. For example, if a guy likes girlier things, and I'm not talking about cross-dressing here, though to be honest, in my opinion, I don't see the big deal, but if, back on track, if a guy didn't like football and stuff like stereotypical guy, and instead like designing outfits or things like that, he'd be thought of like, someone would say, "Oh, he's gay," or stuff like that. But if we go to the opposite side of the spectrum, and if a girl liked football instead of things like Barbies and all that when they were a kid, they don't really think much about it. There isn't really much said about it, and the girl just goes along with what they like. And I don't understand why people do that. Because surely, if a guy likes girl things and that's a taboo subject, which it seems to be in today's society, then surely it should be taboo for a girl to like guys things. And in the same respect, if we'd looked at it at a different angle, if it isn't taboo for a girl to like guys things, then surely it shouldn't be for a guy to like girl things. I don't see why it's so different. Now, I'm not expecting everyone to agree with my opinion. There's going to be some people who think I'm talking utter rubbish and that I'm like wrong and everything. And if that's the case, I don't mind. I'm not going to try and change your opinion. I'm not going to say that you're wrong because everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has a right to that. But at the same time, I'd like to think that there's someone out there who shares a similar opinion to me, if not the same opinion. Because of course you don't have to agree 100%. You may agree somewhat, but also have like different sides to it as well. And if you do, that's perfectly fine in its own right. Yeah, okay, I went a bit off topic, but it kind of all links on to one another, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But it's an opinion I felt like expressing, so yeah, sorry about that. But there's just one more thing I want to talk about before I go. Just one little thing, and then I'll stop yammering and you can go about your normal everyday life. The thing I want to talk about is the weather, and that was the main thing I was going to talk about today, but I went on a complete tangent at the beginning. But anyway, Mother Nature has been seriously PMSing. Think about it. In America, you've got the serious snow, and I'm sure you've seen some photos about how bad it is. Then in Australia, you've got the really bad storms and the floods and everything. Mother Nature is just picking on Australia. I feel really sorry for them. And then in England, even though it isn't as bad as other countries, I'm not saying it is, we have some seriously strong winds going on. Seriously, when I'm walking up the hill on the way to school, because I live near this little hill I've got to go up, the wind either blows me up the hill, which is quite useful, or down the hill, which isn't as useful. And something else that really annoys me about strong winds is when you walk past someone and their hair is barely moving. There's like a bit of a flutter and it looks really nice, while yours is going everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Because the only bit of my hair that really moves in the wind is my fringe. I get a little bit at the side, but it's quite short at the back and stuff, so it's really just the fringe. And it's going up, and I don't even know what it's doing. It's just having a little hyperactive attack. Now, of course, that isn't the worst thing in the world, and it could be a lot worse. But it's just kind of annoying during everyday life, because when you think about it, sometimes, very rarely, I have a day when I look in the mirror and think, my hair isn't looking too bad today. Nice, I'm liking it. And then I go out of the house, the wind blows really strong, my hair has some massive attack or whatever, and then by the time I get to school, I look in the mirror and I'm just like, what the hell happened, and it's all in a mess, and it's just a complete disaster. And surely I can't be the only one who goes through this. Under normal circumstances, I don't really care much about my appearance. I mean, as long as I look half decent, I don't really care. And I don't go out of my way to look amazing. I don't wear makeup, I don't use tons and tons of hair products. Because I'm just thinking, I don't care. As long as I look okay, like, passable, that's fine by me. But if I still want to look, like, decent. So when my hair's completely messed up by the wind, it's kind of below what I would normally think of as okay, which is a low benchmark to begin with, so that's saying something. But yeah, like I promised, I'm finished now, I've got nothing else to talk about. So if you like what you watched and you'd like any other videos you see of mine, don't forget to subscribe. Yay, I still feel really full of myself when I say that, but subscribe anyway if you like what you're watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.